Global News Prime tonight, Obaseki appoints 38-year-old engineer as new deputy governor, as Philip Shaibu, former deputy governor, falls under the axe of impeachment. Emefiele arrives Lagos court for arraignment. Nigerian textile industry struggles as imports rise to 106.7% in 4 years. On the foreign scene, Germany faces genocide case over Israel weapon sales. In sports, Rivers United's crash out of CAF Confederation Cup. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. We're live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agumofwebe. Tonight, we'll begin by telling you, embattled former Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele arrived at the Ikeja High Court in Lagos for his arraignment this morning over alleged abuse of office and isolation of billions of dollars. Emefiele, alongside his co-defendant, one Henry Isioma Omole, were arraigned on fresh 26 counts before Justice Rahman Oshodi this morning in the charge dated April 3, 2024. The FCC alleged that Emefiele had abused his office between 2022 and 2023 in Lagos. The commission also alleged that the former CBN governor had directed to be done in abuse of the authority of his office as the governor, Central Bank of Nigeria, an arbitrary act which is allocating foreign exchange in the aggregate sum of 2,136,391,737.33 without bids, which acts is prejudicial to the rights of Nigerians. Now let's take you to Edo State, where Governor Godwin Obaseki has appointed a 38-year-old engineer, Omobayo Godwin, as his new deputy and is set for inauguration. This is coming on the heels of the impeachment of the former deputy governor, Philip Shaibu, by the state's House of Assembly. According to the panel set up for the impeachment proceedings of the former deputy governor, Shaibu was sacked for leaking the state's government secrets. UAE carrier Emirates is expected to resume its flight to Nigeria in June this year, and that's according to the federal government. This is coming almost 2 years after the airline had suspended flights to Nigeria over issues bordering on trapped funds, among others. Emirates had announced suspension of its flights from Nigeria with effect from September 1st, 2022, over inability to repatriate funds. However, the coast is getting clearer for the resumption of flights, according to Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo. The upgraded Citizens Delivery Tracker app that will enable Nigerians to monitor government projects is now live. While unveiling the application in Abuja, Special Advisor to President Bola Tinubu on Policy and Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, said while it can be immediately accessed at app.cdcu.gov.ng, it will be available on Google Play Store and Apple Store within the next month. The innovative application, which was upgraded by the Central Delivery Coordination Units in consultation with diverse stakeholders, provides citizens with information on priority projects, policies, and programs of the federal government. Bala Usman said it would provide a strong feedback loop between citizens and government on the 8 priority areas of the President Bola Tinubu-led administration. As we take it to the southeast tonight, Abia State's Governor Alex Otti says the state has paid all arrears of pensions dating back to 2014, which was owed to about 12,500 pensioners. Otti, who disclosed this at the government house in Umuahia, state's capital, vowed that pensioners will never be owed their pensions again. He assured that Abia pensioners will be receiving their 100% monthly pensions alongside workers on or before the 20th of every month. The governor further disclosed that payment of accumulated pensions in the state has greater positive impact on the economy of the state as it has injected money into the system. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State has appointed a 28-year-old travel content creator, Pelumi Nubi, as the state tourism ambassador. This was made known by the governor's senior special assistant on new media, Jibril Gawat. Nubi, who completed her solo road trip from London, the United Kingdom, to Lagos, Nigeria, was received at the Nigeria-Benin Republic border on behalf of Lagos State government by the State Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Toke Benson Awoyinka, and the Special Advisor, Tourism, Arts and Culture, Idris Aregbe. Nubi had embarked on her solo trip in a car on January 30, 2024. Operatives of the Nigeria National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have arrested 2 men for trafficking illicit drugs. The agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, shared this information via his X account along with the intercepted contraband. Babafemi stated that one of the suspects was traveling with a stolen identity and many wraps of cocaine in his stomach. He had to, according to the agency, retch vomit and excrete to stay alive. Another set armed with charms to escape, but still got caught. Agro Rangers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, have repelled an attack by suspected bandits on the federal government's grain silo in the Dunsima local government area of Katsina State. Spokesman for the NSCDC, Buhari Hamisu, said in a statement in Katsina that the attack occurred on April 6 at about 1 a.m. According to him, the bandits wanted to destroy the silo and abduct its manager, Lawal Shitu Adwa. However, the Agro Rangers responded swiftly, engaging the bandits in a fierce gun duel for over 2 hours. Former Minister of Defense and presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, in the 2023 presidential election, Rabiu Kwankwaso, says Nigeria has all the required manpower and resources to end the current insecurity in the country. Speaking in Abuja during the mini national convention of the NNPP, Senator Kwankwaso said that if well-equipped, the nation's military can nip in the bud the present security challenges confronting the country. Kwankwaso noted that against the backdrop of happenings in the country, there are strong indications that Nigeria is in serious need of change in the style of leadership, as both the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressives Congress, the ruling party, have both failed the nation. Officers of the Nigeria Police have excelled and emerged best at the just concluded U.S. Special Program for Embassy Augmentation Response Team mission at Amman, Jordan. The training was designed to enhance the team's skills in responding to various emergencies and tactical situations. The program was conducted by the U.S. Navy SEALs and covered a range of topics, including several tactical drills and assessments, ensuring a well-rounded and thorough learning experience. This achievement not only demonstrates their dedication to professional growth, but also strengthens the capabilities of the Nigeria Police towards improved service delivery and sustainable national security and safety. Ex-militant leader and mayor of Roboland, Shanekbe, Israel, has commended Delta State Governor Sharif Oborevori for his support for the investigative panel of inquiry into the mayhem that claimed the lives of 17 military personnel in Okwama, Ughelli South local government area, over the interest of the state. The former agitator expressed satisfaction shown in the manner so far by the governor, while calling on the military authority to ensure that, being the chief executive of the state, Governor Oborevori must be carried along every inch of the way into the cruelty that had occurred. You're watching News Prime, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using our Global TVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Prime returns tonight, BDC operators ask CBN to lower exchange rates. These and other stories coming right after this break. So stay with us, everyone. This is Global Television, bringing you a live broadcast of News Prime with Uyag Mofegwe. We appreciate your presence with us here on the foreign scene. Baghdad is repairing a pipeline that could allow it to send 350,000 barrels per day of oil to Turkey by the end of the month. An Iraqi deputy oil minister said a step likely to rile all foreign companies and the Kurdistan Regional Government, KRG. The reopening of the Kirkuk-Ceyhan pipeline, which has been shut for a decade, will provide a rival route to a pipeline from the Kurdistan region that has been shut for a year as talks between Baghdad and the KRG on resuming exports have stalled. Baghdad deems production sharing agreements between the Kurds and foreign companies using the KRG's pipeline illegal. Nicaragua has asked the UN's highest court to halt German weapon sales to Israel at the start of a landmark case. Germany is accused of breaching the UN Genocide Convention by sending military hardware to Israel and seizing funding of the UN's aid agency. Berlin has rejected the claims and says it will present a defense to the International Court of Justice, ICJ, tomorrow. Israel has rejected accusations that it is engaging in genocidal acts in its campaign in Gaza and has insisted that it has the right to defend itself. Away from the Middle East now, Russian President Vladimir Putin says it will travel to China in May for talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping in what could be the Kremlin chief's first overseas trip of his new presidential term. Moscow and Beijing had declared a no-limits partnership in February 2022 when Putin visited Beijing just days before Russia had launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, triggering the deadliest land war in Europe since World War II. The Russian foreign minister will talk with his Chinese counterparts, Wang Yi, on a series of what it now calls hot topics that will also include joint cooperation in international organizations such as the United Nations and the Group of 20, also called G20. In the business, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, has expressed the commitment of the federal government to support the mining companies that place premium on local content in their operations. Speaking during a site tour of the Segilola Resources Operating Limited, an indigenous gold mining company located within Imogbara, Ikbarindo, Odo, Ijesha, Osun states. The minister lauded the extensive work that has gone into the facility, expressing delight that over 90% of its staff are Nigerians, urging other operators to take a cue from them. Let's now join Samuel Odi for details.
The Minister of Solid Mineral Development urged the mining companies to emulate the international best practice of the Segilola Gold Project to develop the sector. Commending high Nigerian component of the project, Alake remarked that the firm has applied local content in its procurement and employment policies. The minister praised the company's tenacity of purpose and efficient method deployed to push through with its vision despite daunting challenges at inception.
Harmonious relationships bring fertile and robust engagements, which lead to safer, saner, peaceful, free and unfettered operating environment, which will lead to your maximizing your output, your production, and invariably your profit. And it's a symbiotic relationship because the host communities will also stand to gain. And the gains, the samples of these gains I have seen myself here today, and it's very, very commendable. There are so many mining companies who also sign community development agreements, but fall short in delivery. You have, in fact, overshot the bounds of delivery.
Alake stressed that the focus has been to redirect local and international attention to the mining sector. He revealed that the implementation of the 7-point agenda is to reposition the mining sector, emphasizing the imperative of humorous relationship with the host communities. Alake lauded SROL for overshooting its community development target, urging mining companies across the country to follow suit to ensure safer, unfiltered operative environment which will accumulate in maximum benefactors for both operators and the host community and government.
With the focus of your vision as a company, with the exemplary knowledge that you have displayed in putting in place this very laudable project here, and with the tenacity of your courage in surmounting institutional, corporate, individual, communal obstacles and challenges along your way.
In his remark, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Segilola Resource, Segun Dawson, stated that the company is a world-class project powered by Nigerians, appealing for support from the federal government to enable its scale-up and contribute better to the economy of the country.
First stage was proving it up, the gold resource. Then after proving it, we were taking it to a preliminary feasibility study. That was in October 2017. After the preliminary feasibility study, we took it to a bankable feasibility study. That was in February 2019. And then from that point forward, it was about seeing if we could get the project funded. In order to build this project, we needed to raise about $120 million. That took about 1 year to put together. From the end of our feasibility study, February 2019, to when we broke ground was March 2020, so just over 1 year. Needless to say, we had the COVID pandemic, where Nigerian airspace was closed at the end of March 2020, but we persevered through that, and we managed to build the mine. It took 15 months to build, and we poured our first bar of gold in July 2021. And our new focus now is trying to extend the mine life to have a longer-term production.
The minister, in his response, pledged the support of the federal government for SROL, particularly because it promotes local content and positively impacts the host communities with developmental projects. Samuel Odi, reporting for Global Television.
Thank you, Samuel Odi. Let's turn to other stories tonight. The Nigerian textile industry has continued to struggle as importation of textile products into the country increased by 106.7% over a period of 4 years, from 182.5 billion naira in 2022 to 377.1 billion naira in 2023. Now, that's despite several intervention programs to boost the sector over the years. Central Bank of Nigeria has implemented various intervention programs for the sector, including financial support, training initiatives, and foreign exchange restrictions on textile imports at the official exchange markets. Director General of the Nigerian Textile Manufacturers Association, Haman Kwajafa, lamented the high cost of production has made local textile and apparel industry uncompetitive and discourages investments. He also lamented the high production cost of textile materials in the country, which he attributed to poor infrastructure and high energy costs. The Association of Bureaus, the Exchange Operators of Nigeria, has appealed to the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to adjust and lower its applicable exchange rates below the 1,251 naira to the dollar it pegs for its members. APCON National President Aminu Gwadabe stated this in a letter to the CBN Director, Trade and Exchange Department. The appeal comes when the parallel market rate of 1,235 naira to the dollar is lower than the BDC's applicable buying exchange rate of 1,251 naira to the US dollar. As controversies continue to trail the federal government's recent removal of electricity subsidy for over 1.8 million customers categorized to be on Band A feeders, members of the organized private sector has insisted that the hike must be suspended for review. Such plans are to meet President Bola Tinubu on the matter. The organized private sector, including the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, and the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, NECA, disclosed these. Members of the OPS had earlier rejected the tariff hike and called for the suspension of the subsidy removal, saying this would be discussed at a planned meeting with the president. The NERC had announced the hike in the electricity bill at a press briefing in Abuja, adding that those affected will now pay a tariff of 225 naira per kilowatt hour, up from the previous rate of 68 naira per kilowatt hour, representing about 240% increase. The government had declared that the decision took effect from Wednesday last week. However, the Nigeria Labour Congress, the NLC, as well as the Trade Union Congress, the TUC, had kicked against the hiked tariff for power users, regardless of the band they belong to. And still talking business, let's now join Kikalama Okere for an update.
Hello and welcome to Business Report on Prime News. The Central Bank of Nigeria has let go of another batch of 40 employees, mostly from its Development Finance Department, DFD, as part of its ongoing restructuring. This news comes on the heels of an earlier dismissal of 27 staff, bringing the total number affected to 67. The dismissal are likely connected to the CBN's refocus away from development finance interventions. Governor Olayemi Cardoso has previously voiced concern about such intervention, arguing that they take the bank outside its core function and can distort the economy. Among those let go in this latest round is Musa Zangbawa Bulus, an assistant director who headed the National Collateral Registry (NCR). The NCR is an initiative aimed at improving access to finance for small and medium-sized enterprises by leveraging movable assets as collateral. This dismissal reportedly targeted senior staff, with 22 from the DFD and 18 from the Medical and Procurement Service Department. The previous round included 8 directors, 10 deputy directors, 5 assistant directors, 2 principal managers, and 2 senior managers. The Central Bank of Nigeria has reviewed the exchange rate for Bureau de Change operators to 1,101 per dollar from 1,251 naira to a dollar as the Apex Bank dollar firepower grows. The Abuja-based Apex Bank plans to sell $15.88 million to 1,588 eligible BDCs. In a letter addressed to the President of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, the CBN announced the sales of $10,000 to the BDC operators at an exchange rate of 1,101 naira per dollar. This development aimed to address retail market demand for eligible invisible transaction. The letter signed by W.J. Kanya on behalf of the Director of Trade and Exchange Department outlines the directive of BDCs to sell to acquire forex to eligible end users at a spread not exceeding 1.5% above the purchase price. This measure is intended to facilitate access to foreign exchange for legitimate transactions within the retail market. All eligible BDCs are instructed to commence payment of Naira deposit to designated CBN Naira deposit account numbers beginning from Monday, April 8, 2024. The Apex Bank further urged BDCs to submit confirmation of payment along with other necessary documentation for disbursement at the relevant CBN branches. This development underscores the CBN ongoing effort to regulate and stabilize the forex market, ensuring transparency and compliance with the Bureau de Change sector. NGX Group plc has announced its investment in the Ethiopian Security Exchange, leading a change of institutional investors to inject capital into the exchange operationalization. It noted that the NGX is largest foreign institutional investors in the ESX. According to the corporate disclosure made by NGX website, NGX Group invested alongside FSD Africa, a UK-based non-profitable Tech2, a UK-based non-profit financial institution, and Trade Development Bank Group, the financial arm of the Common Market for the Eastern and Southern Africa. Speaking on the investment, Umar Kwaranga, the chairman of NGX Group, says the partnership with ESX is a resounding affirmation of the unwavering dedication to promoting economic development, transparency, and exemplary corporate governance standards that foster an environment conducive to inclusive growth. The federal government of Nigeria has flagged off the distribution of approved 42,000 metric tons of grains to vulnerable Nigerians, beginning with Sokoto State. This is in line with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's directive targeted at helping the less privileged access food amid the economic situation. This flag-off ceremony was announced by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, via its ex-handle. NEMA disclosed that the relevant agencies are collaborating to ensure a seamless distribution to Nigerians. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Thank you so very much, Kike Lomo Okeri. Let's now bring you an update from the world of entertainment, put together by Chung Annamel Joseph.
Nigerian superstar Rema was one of the stars of the 2024 Dreamville Festival, where he flew the African flag and dazzled the audience with a collection of his hit songs. At the 2024 Dreamville Festival, Rema was performing his smash hit single Calm Down before the sound system started experiencing delayed feedback and making a mess of his performance. A visible anger, Rema abruptly stopped his performance before giving those in charge of the sounds a piece of his mind. It's uncertain whether the sound was fixed or if Rema did walk off the stage, as the video of the incident posted on X didn't show him walking off the stage. The incident at the 2024 Dreamville Festival isn't the first time Rema has refused to perform over poor stage organization. In 2023, he also walked off stage in Atlanta over the poor standard of the venue, which he claimed was beneath what his fans deserve. Renowned comedian, actor, and filmmaker Ayo Makun, popularly known as AY, has opened up on the rumored disagreement between him and his wife, Mabel Makun. Recently, rumors have been swirling around social media platforms claiming that the comedian and his wife had parted ways as their marriage hit the rock. Reports also claim that Mabel had moved out of her matrimonial home over AY's constant infidelity, which has left the former treating several infections. In a lengthy post on his Instagram page on Sunday, the comedian seemed to confirm the report, admitting that he has found himself doing some things he's not proud of. AY added that it is one thing to watch his friendship marriage of 20 years slip off his hands, but it is another thing for the parties involved to understand how to appropriate the blame in a space that is designed for most women to always play the victims and win. He can tell for free that no one is completely innocent enough to cast stones. Presently, loving the way the lies about him in all the blogs are traveling faster than the truth, but his painful truth would eventually beat away all the lies, he stated. Aderonmu Adejumoke, the Nigerian actress who rose to fame for her role as Esther in the popular Funke Akindele series Jennifer's Diary, has died. She was 37 years old. The Nigerian filmmaker Seun Ola Ketui confirmed the news on his Instagram today. Aderamu began acting professionally in 2008 Tunde Kelani film Arugba, where she played Princess Mobandele alongside Buki Wright, Bukola Awoyemi, and Shegun Adefila. The news has been met with sadness from members of the industry and fans alike. May her soul rest in peace. Chung Annamel Joseph reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you, Chung Annamel. Let's now take it to the world of sports, where Minister of Sports Development John Eno has tasked the Super Falcons of Nigeria to defeat their South African counterparts in the second leg of their Olympic qualifiers in Pretoria, South Africa. The Super Falcons, who have not qualified for women's football events of the Olympics in 16 years, piped the Bayana of South Africa 1-0 in the first leg in Abuja, and stressed that having missed out on the 2012, 2016, and 2020 Olympic Games, it was time to reclaim their spots on the international stage. The minister encouraged the team to soar to new heights and ultimately break their 16-year Olympic jinx with the female national team. 2 goals by Abdullahi Kano in both halves on Sunday night in Algiers saw USMA knock Rivers United out of the 2023-2024 CAF Confederation Cup. The Pride of Rivers came into the game with a slim aggregate lead after defeating USMA 1-0 in the first leg last weekend in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State's capital. Anthony Mamadou of our sports desk has more for us.
Hello sports fans, welcome to Sports News Update. World number one Novak Djokovic has insisted that playing at the Paris Olympics is a priority for him this year. Djokovic has enjoyed an illustrious career but hasn't yet won an Olympic gold medal. The 36-year-old, who has won 24 Grand Slams, outlined his aim to achieve success in France. The Olympic tournament is said to be held at Roland Garros in late July. Djokovic is also set to compete at the French Open, which will be held at the same venue between May 20th and June 9th. In addition, Djokovic will be looking to retain his Wimbledon title, with the tournament taking place between July 1st and July 14th. At the 2008 Olympics, Djokovic won a bronze medal, but he has subsequently lost the third-place medal match twice. Frank Warren has insisted Tyson Fury would be wise to target what he perceives to be Alexander Usyk's greatest weakness when the pair meet inside the ring. For the first time since Leonard Lewis more than 2 decades ago, an undisputed king of the heavyweight division could be crowned in Riyadh next month. Usyk and Fury had originally been scheduled to face off in February before the Gypsy King sustained a serious cut in sparring, leading to the bout being moved to May 18. As part of the deal to reschedule the fight, Turki Al-Sheikh revealed that both fighters had agreed to forfeit $10 million if they were forced to pull out. Speaking ahead of the highly anticipated showdown, Warren insisted he has identified a weakness in the former undisputed cruiserweight champion's game, which he believes Fury will use it to his advantage on fight night. Manchester United fans were full of praise for Kobe Manu after his excellent strike against Liverpool. Liverpool had taken the lead at Old Trafford through Luis Diaz, but Bruno Fernandes equalized before Manu's superb effort put United in front. Although Liverpool later leveled courtesy of a penalty from Mohamed Salah in a 2-2 draw, there was much focus on Manu's goal, with the 18-year-old enjoying a superb breakthrough season. Comparisons were made to Federico Makeda's memorable goal for United against Aston Villa 15 years ago this week, when the 17-year-old scored what proved to be a crucial goal in the title race. Manu's goal was very similar in style to Makeda's, and the midfielder finding the net for the third time. Martin Odegaard says his Arsenal team should respect Harry Kane but not fear him ahead of Tuesday's Champions League quarter-final first leg against Bayern Munich. Ex-Tottenham striker Kane will return to North London for the first time since leaving the capital for Munich in August. He is in scintillating form, having scored 32 goals in 28 Bundesliga matches this season, though Captain Odegaard is full of confidence with the Gunners on a 7-game unbeaten run across all competitions. Kane is Tottenham's all-time record scorer, having hit 280 goals in 435 appearances, including 14 in 19 outings against Arsenal. Fenerbahce forfeited their Turkish Super Cup clash against Galatasaray in bizarre scenes. Galatasaray were declared winners, with Fenerbahce fielding an under-19 team and walking off the pitch just 2 minutes into the game. Mado Icardi has given Galatasaray the lead in the first minute, given that they are playing Olympiacos away on Thursday in the quarterfinals of the Europa Conference League. Fenerbahce had asked for the Turkish Cup final to be postponed, but their request was rejected by the Turkish Football Federation. Fenerbahce threatened to withdraw from the Turkish league as a result of treatment from referees, but club members voted against their withdrawals following Fenerbahce's win against Trabzonspor last month. Shocking scenes unfolded, with their players attacked by opposition supporters who had run onto the pitch. Bayern Munich sporting director Max Eberl has raged that he doesn't care about their search for a new manager after their latest Bundesliga defeat. The German Giants are now 16 points off runaway leaders Bayer Leverkusen in what is realistically no longer a title fight after they blew a 2-0 lead in their 3-2 defeat to Heidenheim on Saturday. They have already decided to part ways with current manager Thomas Tuchel at the end of the season, and their shocking defeat was their second in a row after they previously lost 2-0 to Borussia Dortmund. It was the worst possible preparations for the first leg of their Champions League quarter-final tie with Arsenal at the Emirates on Tuesday. Speaking to ZDF, Eberl said he didn't give care about the search for a new manager and was more concerned that his side would get a slap to the face by Arsenal in their next game. Celtic stunned the crowd at Ibrox when they took lead after only 21 seconds thanks to Desiree Mede's free goal against Rangers. The old firm rivals came into the clash separated by just a point, with Brendan Rodgers' side leading the way at the top. Celtic have prevailed in both matches up this season and came into the tie in good form, having recovered from a blip by their standards at the start of the year. And that's how we call it a wrap on the Sports News Update. I am Anthony Momodu.
Anthony Sports Update marks the end of News Prime here tonight, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We'll Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Uyag Mofwebe. Thank you so specially for watching. I'll see you again.